Hey guys, Tim here, Juice Athlete Compound. We spent a lot of June talking about different peaking strategies and how to get the most out of your training to make sure that if you have your national championships coming up, in the last few weeks for most USOC sports, you're getting the most out of it and we're maximizing your training. That if you're in the sport of fitness, that you're going to crush either the Granite Games online qualifier, or if you were lucky enough, you're going up to the CrossFit Games, you're getting the most out of that training, right? Well now, for most people, those things are done. Yeah, we have CrossFit Games this weekend, we have Pan Am Games in Toronto this weekend, and so for our athletes doing that, this applies to them a little after, but that is obviously one of the bigger arcs in the year, and for some of you, that is your year. So what do we do after? We've done all the work. Well, tendency is as athletes, we're strong-minded. You want to go in there and do your work, and you kind of turn yourself into a little bit of a machine. You don't feel pain, right? You can't get hurt. What do you do Monday? Go back in the gym. Well, that's one of the three things we're going to talk about today. Number one, if you've worked with me, if you've worked with us, chances are we've tried to beat you over the head that you need a few days away from the gym. Now, again, depending on the arc of your season, how many other competitions there are, it might be a few days, it might be up to a couple weeks, and that's all right, right? The training stuff that we're doing, you need to let your body recover for a little bit, your mind and your CNS to recharge some, so you come back with really good intent in your training. As part of our performance pipeline, that if you don't have intent and you don't have purpose, it's really hard when things get really tough to push through. You want to, you're just a little beat down, and it makes those difficult days a lot more difficult. Okay, so that's number one. You've got to get out of the gym. If you take anything else from this, take a few days away and say Tim told you, and blame it on me. Number two is we go back and we take the rest days and we go back and we start up what we did again, that there's no analysis, right? We have this huge testing scenario we do in competition, that's what that is, right? And we go back in and go, oh, Mondays I do this, Tuesdays I do this. Well, maybe not. Maybe we should look at where you're at now, because this training, if it was planned in advance, was written some months ago. So we want to go back in and look, are you faster like we wanted? Are you able to have contractions at the rate we needed for you to excel in your sport? Are you recovering quickly in between events? All these things matter a lot and matter in how we kind of layer the training over time. So if you go back in without analysis, that's like what they say Einstein's definition of insanity, right? You've all heard that, I hope. Number three, after we start the cycle up, if we have a long enough arc to build back up again, we want to go back into a retest and reassess kind of a week or two period, right? And what we say, if you're gonna go back in, we're gonna do the same training program from January. Well, I guess that's good if your training program doesn't work. Yeah, do it over again. Get no results again, right? But if your training program is working, mobility issues are getting remediated, strength gains are happening, you're getting faster. Well, that training program from January was written for essentially a different athlete now, because you're a better athlete. I hope you are from the training. That's what it does. So if your training program works, and if it doesn't, just message me right away, because that's crazy. If it does work and you're putting in the time, well, guess what? We need to retest and see where you're at for all this stuff, and then go back in and rework that, because for most of us, our testing is the competition. So we don't really get to do an evaluation of where you're at. Oh, what are we going to do a week before Pan Am Games and build up to max singles on something? Like, that's crazy, You're going to work things at a percentage. You're going to be able to do it properly because your goal is to compete and win that event, right? So that means we do need kind of a post-competition training cycle, if, based on a few other scenarios, and do that so we can come up with a new program, right? One of the cool things we're going to be doing, I get to drop it here to you guys first, August 3rd, me and Dr. Hahn are actually going to be doing a reassessment, and actually not even a reassessment, an assessment and testing on athletes in the Future Stars Camp at the Olympic Training Center. So if you're out there, you're going to get to work with us for a few days doing these assessments and doing these tests. We have to be out in Colorado Springs with you, which is our old stomping ground, so super excited about doing that and get to look at the data and see what it says, right? You might think you're fast, but are you fast relative to your opponents or relative to the needs of your sports? Not just your friends think you're fast, like, so what? Your friends aren't, trying to beat you down for money or something. I mean, I hope not. So we're going to be out there. I'm super excited. More on that soon enough. So we'll see you in Colorado Springs soon. But in the meantime, take a day or two out of the gym, and I'll see you on a hike. All right. Thanks, guys.